Hey guys, going to be doing a banner review of Shanchira the horse, the New Year's monster of 2026. This one's time element again, just like Sindura we had a couple years ago, which is interesting. It's a treasure spawn with 5 chests, nice, one less chest than normal. You'll notice that the chests are already opened, so spoilers I guess for what I think of the spawn. I was planning on posting the spawn results, but I kind of messed up the recording, so sorry about that. Anyway, so if we look at the treasure box contents, we got Jackpot, Shanchira and her weapons, of course. We got prize box and medals. Notably, the medals aren't variants. There's 400 and 700, so makes it good. You don't have to worry about rolling low or rolling high. We got Pyra, the only dud, in my opinion. Her gear and weapons just aren't that good. You could get the scroll, but I wouldn't count on it. We got Indra. Indra's gear and weapons, pretty solid, pretty solid. So if we look over the exchange and we look at Shanchira's new weapons and the new proc that comes along with it, you'll notice that it's very similar to Virtuoso, which is the Indra proc. So it's basically the same proc as it was last year. It's pretty good proc itself. Now that it has increased scaling, it also, of course, has the extra element. You can't see it on the SSR version, but the UR versions have the 4 element that 45 weapons are known for. These ones also have Unison abilities. These are a new type of ability that have recently been added into the game that use Unison gauge instead of cost. So not that useful for PvP in my opinion, but PvE, it's pretty good. I'll put them all on screen. I think the notable ones are the Archer, the Cleric, and the Soldier ones. You'll probably get good use out of those ones. The other classes, they probably don't need them. It's nice to have, but they just have better abilities. If we look onto the armors, we'll see that Intercepting, which is very similar, exactly the same as Regent, the current best proc in the game, in my opinion. So this is just a better version of the best proc in the game. So this is extremely good. And even if you're not getting the monster, if you can just do the spawn for this armor, it's very worth it in my opinion. Moving on to the actual monster itself, and go have a look at her, Shanchira. We'll look at the UR version. Shanchira is 750 damage, 5 times magical. So it's not piercing damage, so it's not the greatest, but it does something. The 3 fill uni effect on abilities, pretty good for PvE, cycling monsters. 200% to all stats with the limit break, that's pretty good. Highest in the game currently. Got Twilight's a nice aura. You got Piercer, Life Drain, extra break chance, all that good stuff. Protection Bubble, that's the yellow one that gives you defense and magic defense. Pretty old bubble, considering this is a new monster, but still not bad bubble. And of course we have Crimson's King Crest, a new buff, the Crown. Gives you big HP boost and stats to all your allies. This is the one that gives 50% stats to everyone, which is the weaker one in my opinion, but it's still decent. It's better than no crown. We've got a passive, uni gauge increase. Pretty useful for using uni abilities and not losing uni gain. So I don't know if you'd want to run it over other passives, but it'll find a use, I'm sure. And for the pots, we've got 50 fill, 50k to all stats, slumber res, and Omni defense. So all pretty solid, especially the Omni defense. Not bad at all. Moving on to what I actually think of the monster personally. I think she's pretty strong PvE monster. She's slightly overshadowed by buff monsters like Dark Valk, who offer sort of more all-round stat and damage increases. She does have a piercing aura and a bubble crown, which together is pretty unique and is also quite strong. If you compare it to other time monsters though, she's really outclassing just about everything. Even though her crown is weaker, you can pair her with monsters like Mephisto that do have the better crown, for example, and it's just a really easy way to make her even better. But even if you don't do that, she can also just exist as her own monster, as she does have a crown herself. Shanchira for PvP, however, she's pretty underwhelming. Her damage is pretty bad for clashes, and she doesn't really have a field, which are really important at the moment. There are simply just better options. And her passive as well, I think personally is just not good enough. There's not enough of a reason to run it over other things like ailment res or stat boosters. But if you do full Potter though, she's currently among the highest Omni defense in the game. On top of the slumber res, it makes her an easy slot in your back 5. Overall, the spawn's pretty worth it in my opinion. As a treasure, it offers mostly powerful procs, lowered variants, and decreased chests, with Shanchira being a solid monster in a great spot with its powerful abilities and pot combination, guaranteed to stick around for quite a while, I think. And I personally would recommend this spawn to anyone. Comparing this to other treasures in the past, let's be honest, this is pretty much as good as it gets. So that's my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed my rundown of the spawn. I might make more of these in the future. Until then, I'll see you in the next one.